Good morning. I thought twice about sharing what I'm about to share because I'm ashamed and I'm hurt, but I think that it will do somebody else some good if I do it, if I'm open about it, and if I'm honest about it. It might save somebody's life or at least help people be more aware of how quick it can all end. But yesterday, on a on the drive back from Southern Indiana, I went home from Athens, Georgia to Southern Indiana for Easter. I was driving back on the interstate between Nashville and Chattanooga, and in my pickup truck, my Ram, my wife was in the back seat uh, messing with the kids, and she climbs from the front to the back seat while they're back there. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, Timothy and Everett, and my wife was getting from the front seat to the back seat to go back there and feed them and give them what they needed. And I was distracted looking at her. I was not on my phone. My phone was using the GPS, and my wife yells at me every time I use the phone anyway when we're riding together. But she was unbuckled. She had just gotten back there, and I was constantly talking back and forth with Timothy, and I was just distracted. And I look up, and there's a semi truck stopped. Traffic had built up. There's a semi truck stopped in the road about 100 feet in front of me, maybe 150 feet. Definitely not time to stop. My cruise control is set at 80 miles an hour. I freak out and instinct. I made a mistake, really. I punched the gas pedal instead of the brake. I punched the gas. And I had a split second, and I swerved to the right, and I'm still pedal to the metal on the gas. My wife is screaming. I missed the semi truck by 6 inches, and fishtail slightly in the shoulder. I'm on the shoulder now with traffic, and I'm going probably 90 miles an hour. The shoulder narrows to go over a bridge, and I had to shoot a gap that was about 8 foot wide. And at this, I cleared that, and I skid. The back right of my truck has a very small dent on the bumper where some paint got chipped off by the barrier. And I finally get it slowed down. I finally realize I'm pumping the gas, wondering why I'm speeding up and not slowing down. And the whole time I'm mistakenly hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. And then I realize it, move over to the brake. My wife is screaming at this point. Both kids are crying. And I finally get it slowed down. And I pull off to the side of the road, and I'm shook. I'm shaking, crying. My wife is crying. I spend a half an hour holding my kids and crying. This was yesterday about 4 p.m. And I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. If you've ever seen a vehicle rear end a semi truck, the problem is the semi truck's butt end sits about 5 feet off the ground, and 5 feet is where the hood is. So it basically severs the top of the vehicle every time that happens. I was going way too fast to scrub speed. I was going 80 miles an hour, 100 feet from the semi. I maybe would have been able to get down to 50 before impact. My wife without a seatbelt, she'd be dead. I would have had probably my head cut off as well. And both of my kids would have maybe survived because they're in car seats. Everett might have survived because he's in a rear-facing car seat. But they might have been killed as well, or they'd have grown up without two parents. And something came over me and accidentally hit the gas pedal, which saved me because I was able to swerve. If I would have hit the brakes, I would not have been able to turn without flipping or just not getting any traction. And it's an absolute miracle that at the split-second decision, something came over me and I was able to steer the vehicle through that. It was divine intervention. So it just makes me take a step back. I'm going to do my best to get it together here. So I'm shaken up, very, very shaken up. I have severe PTSD. I haven't been able to eat or sleep since that moment. I can't stop hugging and looking at my wife and kids. I spent the whole night going from bedroom to bedroom, just holding them. But it's just sad because you guys have followed the journey. Everything in my life is working for me right now. Everything's going amazing. Everybody's healthy. Business is booming. I'm making more money than I've ever made. I'm having more fun than I've ever had. I'm meeting amazing people all over the country. I have opportunity galore. My kids are beautiful kids, and they're smart, and they're curious. And I just know that they have such bright futures. I'm going to do everything I can to give them all the opportunity in the world. And my life is spectacular. And just like that, I could have lost it all. I could have absolutely lost it all. And why do I share this? I know I'll be fine in a couple days, right? I'm going to be strong. I'm going to get it together. And, but I've thought really hard about sharing this or not. And I've decided to share it because while I'm so ashamed and embarrassed that I let that happen, that it was completely 100% my mistake for not protecting my family. If anybody would have died, it could have been a pedestrian. It could have been another motorist. I got a gift, and I got another shot. And I want you to know that it can happen at any moment. Everything you're working for, all the people that you love, any moment, they can be gone. Just like that. It can happen in a split second. And I feel like I got another shot, another gift, and so I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to try my best to help people get aware of how dangerous it is if you're driving distracted. So I'm going to try to get back on the horse. I was able to get a little bit of work done on my email this morning for about an hour, so I think I'm going to be just fine. But this is not easy stuff, guys. It's not easy stuff. I keep picturing what I saw over and over and over and over again, replaying it in my mind. What would have happened to my family if I would have locked them up instead of hit the gas? And what would have happened to my family if we wouldn't have been able to keep control and would have flipped and rolled the vehicle over down into a creek? There was a bridge there. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but be safe out there. Be careful out there, because the world is, we worry about these things. Raising money for self-storage deals is a little bit stressful. Underwriting new self-storage deals, business is stressful. There's always little problems. Your kids are a pain in the butt. It's easy to get grumpy. It's easy to think you got it rough. But none of that stuff matters. When you look at the big picture, none of that stuff matters. None of it. So just understand what's important. Enjoy your life. Love the people around you. And man, be careful out there.